Here's another question posed by Rory Vaden within his Schedule to Harvest principle section. What season is your life currently in? What other seasons have you recently completed? Are there seasons that you foresee coming up soon? I'm going to throw this to you, Simon, to start us off.
Yeah, this is a very interesting question, right? Because I never really thought about my life in terms of seasons. It's always been, I have some objectives. I just kind of work towards that. So to think, to explicitly think about this topic, I would say, I've been in the workforce for, I don't know, 30 years now. My son just finished high school, so he's going into a new season, I guess, of his own, and kind of got me reflect a little bit this week. And for me is, I guess I'm getting towards the so-called harvesting season, if you want to put it that way. I'm not saying that I'm retiring anytime soon, but it's a good time to kind of reflect a little bit, what my career has been. And as you know, I kind of started a new job at the beginning of the year. And so it's a season that I want to focus on my professional life. And I want to be able to make a difference in a number of areas. And being part of the M3 Collective is one of them, right? Able to, share what I know, and share with knowledge with others. And I'm also interested in teaching, for example. And again, that's kind of aligns quite well with learning and giving back and sharing with others. So I'm in the season of, in the place where I want to, focus more in professionally and then giving back, what I know. I would say maybe in another, 10, 15 years, I might go into a different season. But this is where I am right now. Edwin?
Yeah. Thank you, Simon. So I think in each of our lives, we all have different seasons. And as Simon indicated with his son, his son's, graduating high school, going to college. So he's going to be in a learning season. And then, some of us have jobs. And so and some of us have multiple jobs. So we're like in a working season. I would say right now for myself, I'm sort of in a growing season which is that season where you've planted a crop, and now you're sort of watering it, right? You're watering it, and you're wanting it to sort of flourish and to grow. And that's sort of the season that I'm in right now, where I've planted some seeds, and now I'm sort of making sure that all of those seeds turn into the appropriate crop, right? Just to sort of take an analogy from the book. And that's sort of the season that I find myself in right now. And then, of course, you have sort of a relaxing season where you need to rest, right? Where you're just taking a week or 2 weeks off just to sort of collect your thoughts, right? And so I think that we all kind of go through these different seasons throughout the year in order for us to ultimately reach the outcomes that we really want to manifest. In the future, I can see myself sort of, going into sort of a more, as we sort of start to enter into the summertime, I could see myself into more of a family season where I'm spending a lot more time with friends and family members, and just being around them and enjoying the sun and enjoying the summer. And so some of the seasons that we sort of experience in our own life are kind of reflective to what's going on in the outside environment, right? We're entering into the summertime where it's going to be nice and hot and warm. People are going to be out a lot more. They're going to be collaborating, whereas in the wintertime, people are more in the house, more focused on work. And so it's interesting to sort of see how the actual seasons themselves can sometimes influence some of our behavior as we live, work, and develop in our personal lives. So that's sort of where I'm at. Anjannette, I'm curious to hear your thoughts.
So interesting. What really landed in me when I read Rory Vaden's The Harvest Principle was that I'm always in that period of the most work, right? That and that you can't be. That I'm not being as efficient as I could be if I actually honored the different seasons. And I'm also growing too many crops. So I feel like I'm a doer. So, and it's also that continually doing when you're at the highest work charged portion of the harvest, where you're working continuously. That Rory Vaden's book really, for me, illuminated the fact that this is not sustainable, that you can't keep going, and going, not only in my own body, but also the soil. It actually isn't good to plant another crop after you've harvested one and then plant another crop, that the soil actually needs rest to make sure that the nutrients are amassing again in the soil to give it rest. And I haven't. And that maybe I'm not being the most efficient in planting the crops and then harvesting it and allowing it rest and enjoying what you sow as well. So I have to really take a look at creating the seasons, because I'm always in that season of heightened activity, which I'm recognizing isn't good.